Hey, okay, so here we are, week 5, and we're, done our Thanksgiving break. I hope that you had a great break and that you're ready and able to get back to work. Numbers are ticking up. Sucks. Things are getting, closed down. Sucks. But we will carry on and we'll try to keep the load really manageable. Try to, keep our spirits up. You may notice that it is the kind of background is slightly different. You might notice the surreal glow on my face. That's because I've started up my little propane fire here in this side garden that I have. I thought I would experiment with this. This is actually, I'm supposed to be posting this in 15 minutes. So we'll see how we do. I think I'll be okay. Yeah, well, it was raining all day today, so I was kind of waiting for an opportune moment, and then I got distracted in doing other things. But here we are, and hopefully my fire doesn't melt my laptop. But we'll see what happens, I guess. All right. Oh yeah. And even though it is 6:15 in the evening, I've got a neighbor who is still like felling trees. I'm not sure what that's about, so we might be slightly interrupted, or I might have to pause and let you listen to that for a few moments. Anyway, okay, I'm going to shift to my other screen, and I'm going to walk you through a little introduction to week 5. Try this melting my hand. All right, so here we are, week 5, and we have arrived at Augustine's concept of the inner word. So let's just review where we're at and then go from there. Okay, so first thing I guess that I want to say is that, yeah, here we go. There's a law against this sort of thing. I think it only kicks in at like, I don't know, it's 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Maybe it's allowed to make noise, mow your lawn and that kind of thing. Maybe later, I guess. All right, let's just work. Okay, so let me just remind you that you have a midterm coming up in a couple of weeks. And the question is really quite simple. What does Augustine mean by the inner word? And I am encouraging you to begin your answer by saying something like, well, if we want to know what Augustine means by the inner word, then we have to know something about the ontotheological synthesis. And saying that can lead you into a review of everything that we've done in the course thus far. And that's really what the midterm is a chance for you to go over your notes, go over the lectures, really try to work out the narrative in your own mind, and to produce a little essay for me. I don't know how long that's going to be. Did I say maybe it's going to be like 1,000 words or something like that? I can't remember. Don't quote me. Write what you think is appropriate to tell the story. You don't need to say everything about every lecture that we've done. You don't need to include every reading, but you're going to want to put together a coherent answer that is illuminating for yourself and also for your reader. So we have this week, and then we have one more week of readings and mini lectures, and that'll be week 6, and then we'll have the week following the midterm. And what I might just go ahead and do, I haven't actually absolutely decided, but I'm inclined to do this, is I might post week 6 soon, like tomorrow. I have pre-recorded the mini lectures for week 6. I haven't recorded an intro and summary, But I could do that tomorrow if the weather's nice. And I might just go ahead and post week 6 early because there are no more journal entries that are due. This was the last one. Yay! Now, on that, I'm actually going to cut you guys a bit of slack. I've had a little bit of feedback that people just haven't been able to do all of their work, and so I think I'll be giving you an opportunity later in the term to do a makeup journal. There's not going to be really opportunity to do a makeup discussion groups, but I think I can see my way clear to giving you a chance to do a makeup journal. But for next week, at least, we don't have a journal. So I don't see any real reason why not to post the lecture. The only reason I can think of is that it might confuse you. So let me just be really clear that for week 7, your only responsibility is to produce a midterm. And that midterm is due at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, the 2nd of November. Monday is notionally the day we have our class. So in week 7, that would be the evening, 6:30 to 9:20 roughly, that you would be sitting down and writing this midterm for me in class. Bring in crib sheet, but not writing the essay in advance. And just, cranking out 3, 4, 5 pages of coherent story about what does Augustine mean by the inner word. Okay, so that's the midterm. Now, review, where have we been? Talking about the pre-modern autotheological synthesis, where the divine, the anthropic, and the natural realms are all connected. Secondly, we were looking at Plato, and we were seeing that, like Aristotle, Plato recognizes certain problems in the way that we handle and think about language in relation to reality. In Plato, this is the similarity theory versus the conventionalist theory. Similarity theory is a little bit like univocity, term, really important term in general that we're associating with Aristotle's thought. Conventionalist theory, pretty much like equivocity, where it's just arbitrary, and if we agree on it, then that's all there is to it. And Plato and Aristotle both recognize that there are certain problems with that. Plato wants to save thought from the demonic technologization of the sophists. But he thinks the way to do that is to denigrate language and to separate language from a realm of pure thought. And through the lens of Gadamer, we saw how that's a limitation and that's a problem. And Gadamer gives us hope that there's another way. And that's the way that we're really getting into this week. So here are the main points of this week's mini lectures. One, that Augustine elevates language, especially in comparison to what Plato does. He makes it possible to think of rhetoric as the basis for confidence that the world is knowable. And this is a tremendous achievement and a tremendous contribution to the future unfolding of Western European culture. And we're going to see that the inner word is more than a thought. We're going to go really slowly on this. We're going to try to tease it out for you, especially in book 15, 1019, and 1120. You have to be really patient and really precise, apologies, with the language that Augustine uses, and I'll be walking you through that. And then we're going to see an implication of this, that we do, for Augustine, we do appreciate, we have knowledge of a thing, we have knowledge of the wholeness of a thing, but we can only unfold our knowledge. So sorry about this. I'm just so sorry. I got fire, tried to make it nice, and I got somebody who's cutting trees. Okay. We can only unfold our knowledge of a thing over time because we are finite beings. So we might apprehend it as a whole, but we can't. And that inner word of the thing speaks to us as a whole, but we can only articulate it as time-bound creatures. That applies to us individually, and that applies to us collectively, so that our historical knowing is a knowing that unfolds over time. This is especially important for thinking about the arts, about how your contribution, your interpretation can be meaningful, and you aren't burdened with trying to account for the whole of the meaning of anything. In the course of this, the one mini lecture that I do here, I'll be there's a supporting quotation that I don't actually use in the mini lecture, but you might find this helpful for thinking about, well, how is the inner word not just thought? And this is a quotation from a guy named Marcus, and who says this little quotation. I'm not going to go through it now, but you might want to refer back to this when you're puzzling out that mini lecture. And now I'm going to leave it there, and this is my kind of summary stuff that I'm going to do afterwards, and I'll post that in a separate mini lecture called the summary. But that's it for the introduction. Hope you enjoy thinking about Augustine on the inner word. All right, bye for now.